Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be addressing some of you fellows might have some problems with ladies, and trust me, I was in my 20s. I'm 40 years old now. When I was in my 20s, I was horrible with women, okay? And it wasn't until I was around 29, 30 years old, things started to change, and then eventually I started to understand how to actually, play the game, so to speak, okay? And I want to share this with you because I actually helped a guy out today. He's on my Facebook, and to be honest, I don't even really know the guy. He's on my Facebook. I have a bunch of people because back in the day, I was part of, long story short, these like social networks, and I have a bunch of friends on my Facebook I don't even know personally. But anyway, he was venting about problem he had where he's a single guy and just like I think he's like around like 40 years old, around the same age as me, 30s, late 30s, 40, and he just is just not doing well with women. He was just venting on his Facebook page. So I laid some advice to him, and I got some feedback from him, and I'll explain to you what I explained to him because I think this is legit advice for all guys. Okay, so just to lay the groundwork of what happened, he he was just failing in dating. Like he'd go on dates, but it wasn't going anywhere, and he wasn't getting the attention from women he was actually interested in. Okay, and I think a lot of us guys can relate to that at some point in time. That we've been interested in women, in some women, and they're just not showing interest back. Correct. So and he was venting on the fact that it was kind of a hope. His life was kind of hopeless, and I kind of felt bad for the guy again because I saw within him where I was in the past. I was in the exact same boat, and my advice to him, as to anybody else, is don't stress about it too much. Don't put too much pressure on the fact that things aren't working. Just take a step back, okay? Just leave it. Just you know, leave that pressure aside for a sec and focus on yourself, your own development. Okay? Because guaranteed, the guys who are not easily getting on dates or having girls interested in them, showing them the type of attention that being a desirable guy is because I'll just be real, there's something wrong with you, okay? Which is, and I don't want to be too harsh, but it's true, which is you have to work on your own development, okay, to be a desirable guy. I was there myself. I was shy, pathetic, kind of weak. You know what I mean? I carried myself not great. I didn't have a good job. I was always broke. My 20s, and I just had no value. I was not a valuable person. And when you're in a dating scene, you gotta you have to sell yourself as being valuable. So, my advice to him was take a step back and focus on yourself. Work on your physicality, okay? Your health, for one. And health has to do with, obviously, nutrition, going to the gym, work on your physique, you know what I mean? Have a degree of build, muscular. That's how you carry yourself in life, right? And I noticed a big change when, I'm not like a super jacked guy, but when I actually actually gained some build, people treat you differently. Women treat you differently. Even guys treat you different. Everybody is. But the attention you get from women changes. So you have to be somewhat reasonably in good shape. If to meet the girl of your dreams, that's what it comes down to. And not just for your sake, for their sake. You want to be in the right shape, both literally and metaphorically, for the girl of your dreams to be desired to watch you, correct? So there's that. The second thing is in the this goes into self development side of things. You got to reshape the way you see the world or see yourself. Your perception has to change, because guaranteed there's something within there that is affecting you negatively. It's just the way it is. When you change the way you see yourself and you see the world, and you change the way you see yourself in relationship to the world, and you see how you can affect the world by your own motivations and your own desires and your own aspirations and things, and your own strategies, you can shape the world around you. Once you gain that kind of enlightenment, that's what it is, then all of a sudden, like, the effort it takes to meet girls becomes effortless. It's like at times it falls on your lap, literally. Okay, now some guys are not blessed with the physical attributes. I'm not saying I'm a supermodel, good looking guy or anything. I'm not. Okay, but I consider myself a reasonably good looking guy. Okay, but you know what I mean. Even reasonably good looking guys, that's not all it takes. Like with women, if you're reasonably good looking women, not even if you're a 7 out of 10, you're gonna get your DMs are gonna be filled with guys wanting to fuck you, right? If you're a 7 out of 10 guy, your DMs and you're not doing anything, your DMs are like nothing. Okay, so what can you do to make it so you have more of a gravitas, more of an attraction, an aura about yourself, right? Well, obviously I addressed the physicality side of things. That's just the common sense. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Okay. Second of all is character. You need to have a character about you. A character is like a story about you. You know what I mean? And something that is like a mystique about you in a way, that a curiosity is a better word. You got to make it so girls are curious when they see you. They're curious about you. Okay, because when you can initiate that, then that builds attraction. They want to learn more about you. Okay, so we got physicality out of the way. We got some mystique, character, obviously being, a lot of people say nice guys finish last. In one way, I agree with that. When you're too much of a complacent kind of nice guy, where you're just like want to please everybody, right? Not being that nice guy, but you got to be somebody who that shows that you have value, which is ethics and morals, okay, and that you have intelligence, you have depth in you. You know what I mean? And you're not predictable. If you're too much of a predictable guy, your behavior, that's not attractive. There has to be some degree of unpredictability. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it there for you guys to digest that, okay? And the last thing I'm going to mention, because I like to make these videos around 10 minutes, we're approaching that mark, is the way you carry yourself is that, like, you're the one affecting other people. Other people do not affect you, at least easily, in a way that's going to throw you off. Obviously, if somebody can affect you positively and then you react to that, great. But the way you gotta be, this is what being like kind of a man is. This is what confidence is. Okay, is that in situations, including situations with women, situations where you're meeting, you're going on dates with them, and things that, you know what I mean. You're dictating the scenario, the story. Okay, and you're not getting thrown off. And being thrown off, it could be by her friends. It could be by another guy trying to cock block you. It could be a whole host of scenarios, right? But you just stay centered. You stay balanced, right? And I think a good thing to work on in this is some degree of mindfulness in general life. And if you have a problem with women, just like start up random conversations with people is the best way to kind of break the ice and to get it so when you actually meet somebody you're interested in, it just becomes that much more natural, right? If you stay too secluded in life, you're not going to get. It's like you're going in a state of atrophy, right? Like it's a mental, emotional, behavioral atrophy with when you're not able to actually, when you meet somebody, being like, it's just becomes natural, right? And that's the last, I guess the last thing I want to mention is just be genuine and natural and let things flow. Be fluid in a zone type of mentality. And again, I think mindfulness helps with that. And I think as well, when you carry yourself well, when you're, and you get, when you start getting that like nice build and like work on yourself, spend a year in the gym, you know what I mean? Do some CrossFit, do some boxing, do some powerlifting or bodybuilding or all the above. Okay? And if you're past 40 years old, maybe you look into, the option of doing testosterone, seriously. Because once you're at that point and you actually like get a nice build, it like people treat you differently and you're able to capitalize on situations where, when you see somebody showing interest in you, that you just fish. You're just like fishing. You probe the situation with a degree of like interest in them, and if they show interest back, then it's game on, and that's how easy it is. That's how I've hooked up with 90% of girls I've been with. It's just like being present, being natural, normal. I see that they're interested and then probe them, and then they smile and do something back, and then get a number, and then follow through with that, and then bang, bang, boom, done. And that's how I have my girl now, who I'm in a serious relationship, and I think I'm gonna marry. Okay, so like, it worked for me where I believe that she is the one, and I'm really happy that I learned the things I did learn at the time I learned, because if I didn't, I would potentially would have been single my whole life and pathetic. Hate to say it, but it's just the way it is. When you be single as being your whole life is going to be weak and pathetic, because you need support of a strong woman beside you who's loving and caring and treats you well. So I'll leave it there, guys. What are your thoughts on that to a single guy like I did today? That's exactly what I told him. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.